sounds of classic Doom. I'm assuming this is the first round.
Can't be round 1. Do we have a link there in chat to the tournament brackets?
There is.
Okay.
It's,
Fantastic.
and another shout out to the event. Take the Crown is being played entirely on a new deathmatch map set by Rotking, known as Rottzone. It's pretty cool to throw a whole bunch of players into a set of new maps. Say, hey, go for it. One of the maps, in fact, features a Cyber Demon, which if you tuned in yesterday or are watching the archived video, then we'll you'll see that the Cyber Demon racked up quite a lot of kills.
Going in here, I assume this is a real game right off the bat with it at 24-22. It's also in the brackets, but yeah, very even match going so far, which is what I was thinking for my prediction. No idea who's going to come out of this one.
Yeah, right now we're watching Looper, who is a speedrunner extraordinaire, and tried to get a jump onto that Megasphere up top, and ended up melting instead. Margin being pretty close means that it's anyone's game.
And Looper taking that chance at the Megasphere just means he has to respawn and go find an SSG. You're starting out weak off bad on your spawns, and Dante and Cypher is taking advantage, killed Looper about 3 times in a row.
Knowing where your power weapons are, knowing where the spawns are, and paying attention to those audio cues, which means, you know, some players may not be hearing these delectable MIDI tunes in favor of tuning up their game sounds, but, you know, you gotta get in the rhythm.
Yeah, we use the same strategy over here as casters, or at least I turn off the music so I can hear you, Zanero.
Oh, that's not as required as hearing all of the symphony of death and destruction. It's usually just slamming another 2 shells in the super shotgun, which we just saw her before walk off the edge of the map and melt. Watch your footing. 35-30 in what I presume is round 1 of this first round in the upper bracket.
Got Looper and Herbivore taking a vantage point on the high ground, but didn't come out of that one ahead. Oh, just blasting away with the normal boomstick. Good job, Looper. Keeping it close, which is very important.
And Dante missing that drop down onto the Megasphere from the lift. It is a very short distance to drop down onto that platform. It's a very small bit of land, which you can jump from the side onto that Megasphere, but it's a tricky jump to make.
I'd say teams have gone into their practice rooms to just deny enemies from, you know, making that jump to the Mega, because, like, every game we've seen on this map, like, I don't know if we've seen, like, a single successful, like, straight-up jump to the Mega. Here goes Looper with the BFG, with a good line of sight on both red players. Gets one. That runs out of BFG.
Well, fortunately, his teammate did not come around the corner. In fact, you hope that they're communicating in some way, shape, or form, like, hey, I have the BFG, or they're paying attention enough in their head to know that their teammates got the BFG and staying out of sight so that they don't lose that point. Because getting killed by your teammate will take a point off that scorecard in the lower right-hand corner of the screen. 40-39, it's dead heat.
We saw a team kill there by Red, and with it being so close, again back to 3 and 4, is Blue got to within 1 of Red.
10 seconds left on the clock, so it's gonna be a very tight margin, if not a straight up tie here. We don't know.
Is it gonna tie? Oh,
It's gonna tie. We have a tied round.
A drawed round. So that goes to... Sorry, you're gonna have to explain it again, Zanero, because you had the listings out for...
So it went to rounds 1 and then total frags. So I guess if we deducted however many frags they had.
$50 to go spend at the closest food court. I wonder what's in a demon food court.
Could ask John Romero.
He's got all the lore. Maybe Tom Hall, the lore master.
Well, unfortunately, Tom Hall isn't here, but these players are. Round 2 has begun, and it's 1-0 in favor of blue. Again, 7 minutes on the clock. If teams do not reach the 50 frag count, they will be yielding to that time limit. As they did in round 1, but they had a tie in frags, so that was interesting.
Yeah, and as we're getting started here, from what I've heard from Do, is they're going to be playing round 4 for a tie break. So I believe the rule set for ties that you spoke of earlier was more for the round robin.
I see. Well, we're learning things.
Yep, by the seat of our pants.
Now, what we're looking at here with Looper, the high ground here, where the that doorway that led into the plasma, is also the spawn point for the only major pickup of this map, the Soul Sphere, which will give you 100 extra health on top of your current, up to 200. It's a helpful item, especially if it's the only item to really control apart from the green armor, which helps you with 1/3 damage reduction, but at the end of the day, you want that big stack of health, and more importantly, you want to deny it to the enemy team.
Yeah, and we've really seen that teams do their best to control this high point. Like, you'll just see both of their players setting up high, just chilling out for that Soul Sphere respawn, and not really using a whole bunch of the like interior side of this map.
And the play we just saw in full, we saw Herbivore and Looper kind of hanging around together, but as soon as they were losing control to Dante and Cypher, he went for that Soul Sphere. Even if he did not make it out of that room alive, they did not maintain control over that. And as a bonus, they have a grip on the timing of it. So every 30 seconds, an item or, well, a monster might respawn. So that being said, playing slow, we've seen teams kind of take their fingers off the W key a little bit so far in at least this match, and probably in the future as the bracket unfolds.
We had the blue team trying to deny the Soul Sphere from Cypher by shooting the rocket launcher from the opposing side, but Cypher still picks it up, but takes a death. Grabs that green armor.
Currently, Dante and Cypher maintaining control over where the sphere might be. Doors open. There it is. Grabs it. 155 health. And green armor's there for him. Look, Dante looking pretty stacked at the moment and can afford to be a bit aggressive. He lost a teammate there. He can't seem to grab this kill on the player right next to him. Looper definitely dodging and bringing down that stack pretty handily, neutralizing a bit of that overstack.
Yeah, just couldn't get him on the low ground. Eventually, Dante came out with that frag, but Blue just being very tricky with that teleporter there.
Pretty tight margin so far. No team running away with it. Gone are the days of the group stage mayhem where everyone just W-keyed right into each other.
We had a funny story yesterday in the very first match. Is the red team went up by like 25 frags at the very beginning, and me and Zanero were just afraid at first that the scoreboard was broken, because it's just like I think that's pretty rare in Doom to get like 25-0. So we're thinking like, oh shoot, oh what are we gonna do? And then finally Blue gets a frag, and we're yes, it's not broken.
Yeah, Source ports are developed by people, the community, who are, they're passionate, but, bugs do pop up from time to time. Fortunately for us, that wasn't one of them. And just, it happens every so often in a game where people are very experienced, like Doom, who've played it for a very long time. And that's what the group stage helped with. Teams qualified and are playing a lot more conservatively so far, as far as these two teams are concerned. 26-22, a margin of 4 frags means nothing in a game of this speed.
Nothing, but the time limit could become an issue. I mean, we didn't get 50 frags in the first game, and there's not looking like there's going to be any way that we'll see the 50 frag mark in game 2.
Oh, Looper lighting up Herbivore there in the frantic spawn that he heard behind him. Just shot up the first thing he saw that moved. And that can cost the team with margins like this. We're under 2 minutes left in round 2.
Looper's reflexes are literally too good. I wonder what happens at the doctor when he gets smacked in the knee. Dangerous weapon, Looper.
Might need a new doctor.
Yep. 28 to 26. Can we see it? Can we see the comeback from Blue?
Well, we saw late in the last seconds of the first round that they were able to neutralize like a 4-frag advantage. It was it happened very fast too. So in this game, unless they were like up or down by 10, anything can change within a couple spawns.
Don't you dare do this to us again, making 2 draws in a row.
I mean, scoreline is extremely close.
33-22. We got Blue with the high ground. We got 2 red, 2 blue.
Yeah, we're
switching in the ring.
We're switching between these players. I mean, the frag line is pretty even between the top players, Looper and Dante, leading their teams with 20 and 19 frags apiece. They're definitely the heavy hitters so far in this round. Looper with 5, 15, grabbing as much health as he can. Those also respawn every 30 seconds, kind of a universal timer.
So Looper doing a great job of getting his HP back, but
trying to play keep away from Dante, unsuccessful. Herbivore himself is being chased. Now it swings in favor of Red by 2 frags, 3 frags. Herbivore takes out Looper.
Oh, you don't want to do that in the last 10 seconds.
Be careful with those rockets, they hurt.
Oh, you hit Looper again.
Dante, sitting in the corner, does not want to yield a point. And that will be it for that round. BoMF being able to take a round there.
Oh, that ending was just a huge swing there, from going from even to +5 for Red. You can see just how quickly it changes in the last 10 seconds.
And they were also able to play keep away, which may have been even more important in that, instead of just trying to continue to control the high ground that may have given them that advantage in the first place. Know when to hold them and know when to fold them.
Yeah, as long as we do not get a tie in round 3, or I guess it depends if, Blue takes the victory. But if Blue wins round 3, then yeah, we'll have to decide on another map.
Just roll a die. Whatever number it lands on, that's what you pick.
Okay, so this map here, there is a Soul Sphere and a Mega Armor, and they are quite close. The Mega Armor, like, if you just... There's a ramp that leads up to it, but on the other side, because there is jumping in this tournament, you can make that jump and get there very quickly.
That's true. We'll probably see those players bolt for the... Well, first, Dante jumps right down to that Soul Sphere, and I believe Cypher grabbed that Mega Armor out of that room he's looking at right now. That great. You can shoot through, and at least try to deny the enemy players of that. But Team Red has come away with item control initially, even though they are now down 4 points.
Oh, item control, and Blue just had a brutal set of 3 spawns in a row where Dante just sat there, just using SSG 1, 2, 3, and yeah, just got them a huge lead at the beginning, 10-4.
Yeah, it shows how powerful those items can be, giving you an early lead. That momentum just has to be controlled.
Cypher and Dante just holding everything on the map. Gets another spawn kill. Gonna have to see Blue, pick up the pieces and, chip away at the health stacks and get back into here. They have to get on this Mega Armor, or at least the Soul Sphere. At least 1 out of 2.
Looper did grab the Soul and was actually able to dodge a lot of gunfire there by wall running on that line in a frantic push to grab the Soul Sphere, but you're going to need a little bit more utility. The single barrel shotgun can do a lot of damage, but you have to land those shots pretty precisely. Another reminder in this map set, you don't really spawn on a super shotgun anywhere. You do get a weapon, but it's not quote-unquote, the favorable one. Super Shotgun everyone's used to, you have to look for it and fight over it.
It's like Herbivore and Looper were hanging out in the corner together, just maybe communicating to themselves over Discord and figuring out what the heck did they do.
Dante goes down with blue armor, but they were able to, just by picking it up, they were able to deny it to the other team. And momentum has absolutely gone in their favor. Able to control a couple spawns down below, 26-9 in this round.
Yeah, change in the story. The games were so close in 1 and 2 that just to see Dante and Cypher come out with this dominant performance, it's crazy.
We may see other teams opt to not play this map against Dante and Cypher if they advance, because if you have an outstanding performance on one map, that could be notable for other competitors in the bracket.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe we saw Dante and Cypher come out on top of Geezer Express yesterday on this map. No slouches, really good communication, and just controlling the points that you need to.
Not just that, but knowing how to move in a fight, knowing which fights to take and which to back off of. There's a lot of nuance that goes into this old game that we've played for, oh boy, how many years now?
I'd say only about 8 years for me beyond, trying it as a kid.
Alright, that's fair. And Cypher wasting Dante on his way to the soul and does not get it, but Looper has an opportunity to drop down, does grab it, but he needs a super shotgun, and would be good if he was able to pick up armor. But the blue armor is nowhere to be found. In fact, Looper rounds the corner and sees both members of Team Red sticking together, which makes them a harder entity to approach. But they're coming back. I mean, they've reduced that almost 20-point gain to less than 15.
Couldn't tell if another blue was coming up, but at least they're on the Soul Sphere.
Herbivore currently has possession of the blue armor.
Okay, he grabbed that.
And doing some pretty good work there. Dante and Cypher whiffing a couple shots, letting Herbivore clean up, and then flank from behind. In fact, he's doing so well, he ran out of ammo for his super shotgun.
It's not a problem you think of too often, just running out of ammo.
Just means they're doing work, and they almost narrowed it to 10 frags, which there's enough room for them to make that happen, but Dante now has the blue armor and a stack of health, practically Megasphere level. But it won't help too much if you lose too much of it during one fight. Efficiency, it has to be on the table to capitalize on those armor and sphere pickups.
Yeah, Megasphere at 200-200, you can still lose all of that. 2 SSG blasts if you're hitting all the pellets.
Yeah, just all it has to do is one fight to go poorly, and that power is all gone.
Well, I don't know if Blue has run out of steam. They had a switch in control, but then Dante and Cypher picked it back up. So if Red does capitalize on this, they're going to be moving into the semifinals.
Only 4 frags left for Team Red to move on. Round 1 they did tie, but it is a best of 3, and with them winning round 2, they close out round 3 here as the winner, which all but assured they will. And they will be moving on, and Looper and Herbivore will drop to the lower bracket. It is a double elimination, so they'll get another chance at it.
Yeah, Looper and Herbivore, they aren't out of the tournament yet, but going down to the losers bracket, who knows who they'll come up against. We'll just have to see with the other matches.